Hello there, friends. Andrea with the Bangs here. This past weekend, I dabbled in a little bit of political Twitter. I don't usually enjoy politics, like actually at all. If I have to, if it's what's in the front of the cultural context, I will. I do find things going on with the culture interesting, but politics, I don't know. The older I get, the more I'm sort of I digress. So I dabbled a bit in political Twitter, particularly in the space of voting this November in the American election. Now I'm Canadian, so I don't have a dog in this race. But I am curious about this election. I am seeing people on the left saying that if you abstain from voting, that you are then giving a vote basically to Trump. Or you're helping Trump, I think is what it is, the message there. So I'm wondering, is it always like this? If someone says they're not going to vote, is it always this sort of moralizing of if you don't vote, then you're helping the other party? So please vote, even if you really disagree with the person that you'd be voting for. Like a sort of lesser of two evils. I feel like that phrase was used for last time with Hillary. So is it just the Trump elections? Or was it like this in the past? I actually recall Russell Brand. He did an interview about why he doesn't vote. And he actually had a pretty compelling case about how the system is broken. So why vote? I'll see if I can find that clip and put it up.
How do you imagine that people get power?
Well, I imagine there are sort of hierarchical systems that have been preserved through generations.
They get power by being voted in.
Well,
That's how they get it. You can't even be asked to vote.
It's quite a narrow prescriptive parameter that changes within the.
In a democracy, that's how it works.
Well, I don't think it's working very well, Jeremy. Given that the planet is being destroyed, given that there is economic disparity of a huge degree, what are you saying? There's no alternative. There's no alternative.
No, I'm not
this
saying
system.
that. I'm saying if you can't be asked to vote, why should we be asked to listen to your political point of view?
You don't have to listen to my political point of view, but it's not that I'm not voting out of apathy. I'm not voting out of absolute indifference and weariness and exhaustion from the lies, treachery, deceit of the political class that has been going on for generations now, and which has now reached fever pitch, where we have a disenfranchised, disillusioned, despondent underclass that are not being represented by that political system. So voting for it is tacit complicity with that system, and that's not something I'm offering up.
Well, why don't you change it then?
I'm trying to.
Well, why don't you start by voting?
I don't think it works. People have voted already, and that's what's created the current paradigm.
When did you last vote?
Never.
You've never, ever voted?
No. Do you think that's really bad?
So you struck an attitude, what, before the age of 18?
Well, I was busy being a drug addict at that point because I come from the kind of social conditions that are exacerbated by an indifferent system that really just administrates for large corporations and ignores the population that it was voted in to serve.
You're blaming the political class of the fact you had a drug problem?
No. I'm saying I was part of a social and economic class that is underserved by the current political system, and drug addiction is one of the problems it creates when you have huge, underserved, impoverished populations.
But I'm just wondering if you are open to commenting about this, about what you think, please do, because I am curious about, I am planning on doing a letter on letter.wiki with a friend of mine who has a point of view he was willing to share with me in a more longer form. So I need to get that actually written, but I felt like making this little video just to put it out there. And if you're more right-leaning, I'd like to hear what you think as well. If you see people saying they don't want to vote and they're on the more right-leaning space, would you automatically think, no, that's helping Biden, so you better vote our way, kind of thing? Yeah, so that's it. I think that's all I've got. I am really curious as to what you guys think about this abstaining from voting thing. If you think it is supporting the other side, if you think it is a way to stand up for your beliefs, if you don't agree with either candidate running, And I would really like to hear what you think about this little clip I played of Russell Brand, if you think any of those points are valid. So let me know what you think. Andrew with the bangs out.